All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in to another video. Let's look at today's market. I'm going to try to take a few entries. What I have here is the Nasdaq 100 futures. I'm also looking over at the E-mini S&P 500 as well. Hopefully I can get a few scalps trading today simply using supply and demand. Okay, that's what my channel is pretty much covers and consists of is supply and demand setups, me trading, sharing my strategy, giving back stories about my own personal experience of trading, and sharing with you knowledge and information that I've been doing so for many months now. Okay, that's why the channel was started. So without further ado, let's take a look at the ES futures first, just to kind of get an idea. I talked about this a few weeks ago. You know, this is the time of the year where things kind of slow down volume wise, and the ES can be a little bit more tricky to trade just because of, you know, it's getting to the season. Things don't really start to pick up again until around January on the ES, where we start to see some good swings or good movements. But overall, what we see is the market is still continuously making higher highs and higher lows, right? We haven't really broken any area of structure to the downside as of yet. We were making, you know, into the latter part of the summer months, into the fall, beginning of the fall time, making lower lows and lower highs. But now we have turned around, started breaking the areas of structure here to the left-hand side of the chart, started making these higher highs and higher lows. So you got a high here, higher low, high, higher low, and higher high. So we haven't broken through any area of structure to the upside. I'm sorry, I meant to the downside as of yet, okay? So at this current moment, we're still making higher highs and higher lows, okay? We could break some structure, maybe if we break below this area here, or break a little bit lower, okay? If I look down at my lower time frame entry chart, I mean, it's just the last couple days leading to the Thanksgiving holiday, just been nasty, you know, just kind of moving sideways, chopping. This is not something you want to be trading in right here. Yesterday, you know, still not good. I mean, we're just kind of moving back inside this range here. We are now moving lower, as you can see here. So we have, let me take a look here. Yeah, started breaking some areas of structure to the downside. We just cleared this area here below 52 into the overnight session. So we are making lower lows, as you can see here, and lower highs. We have this swing here. We took out some internal structure, broke through this small little area right here to the downside, and looks like right now, as of right now, I don't see anything really primarily setting up on the ES. So just be careful. We did have a bounce at a half number at 45.50, and the market pushed up, but just be careful in trading the E-mini S&P 500. Okay. Volume has really not been there. It's been kind of moving sideways, and just a tough market to trade right now. But again, I talked about, you know, when we get a shift over into the new year, things kind of start to pick up first, second quarter. Okay. So I'm going to look back over now at the Nasdaq. Let's see what we have going on here. Of course, we were making these higher highs and higher lows to the upside. Had a high here around 73-ish area. So we've got this high and got a low down here, kind of trading within this leg here. But we did get, let's see. Okay, we got a small, like a structural break here below this area here at 41.5. And the market's been kind of moving lower, making lower lows and lower highs, okay? So this is what I classify as internal structure on the move to the upside here. Price broke through this small area of structure, moving lower there. So, and right now we're kind of tucked back within this swing here. So market's moving kind of sideways, as you can see it now on the Nasdaq. This is on the higher time frame though, overall. So things are getting a little choppy right now. I mean, we did break the small area, moving back to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs, turned back around, started breaking some areas of structure back to the upside here, taking out, you know, as we started moving, making these higher highs and higher lows, then turn back down around again. We haven't broke this area of major area structure to the downside here, below 938.5, and then you have this major area structure where there's a high here at 73 pretty much. So just be careful because we're kind of moving sideways right now. I'm not saying you can't trade this, but you know, ultimately I like to see well, price is breaking major areas of structure, like maybe it's breaking this low here, we'll look for that, and then look for a pullback, you know, or it comes up and it breaks this key area of structure right here to the upside, and we look for a pullback. So just be very, very mindful of, you know, trading in this kind of environment is what I'm trying to say. This could have been a little short right here. This was a little supply zone right here, okay? Market pulled back to it shortly after the market opened up. Could have taken a short there, but just be careful because we are definitely moving sideways right now and looking at the higher time frame. But that would have been a setup to look for an opportunity to go short on the lower time frame. Don't take it off the higher time frame, all right? I don't trade my trades from the higher time frame. This is, you know, if I was to mark this zone right here, then I would switch to my lower time frame to look for a short setup, okay? Back at an area of supply. All right, I'm down now looking at my lower time frame on the Nasdaq. I'm taking a quick stab short here. Just there we go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take out right here. I was looking for price the market to fill this area, this gap right here. Okay. Price again looking for short entries because bearish outlook right now on the higher time frame. So this was just a pullback. There was an area of supply resting right here on the lower time frame chart. All right, I'll mark it for you. I just mentioned that earlier. If you see bearish sentiment, or you have the market or a higher time frame chart showing you when the market is breaking structure to the downside, to scale down to your lower time frame chart and look for supply setups, as I just did right here. You know, again, the market is making lower lows and lower highs. Okay, the market pulls back to this key area of supply, even on the lower time frame, and I'm looking just to take it down to, you know, a key area to fill in some gaps. Okay, so it tapped into the supply zone right here, rejected it, and you go short. Okay, let's see now, but you have to be careful just as well, because the market was, when it turned back around right here, it started making structure back to the upside. So be careful. You know, you always want to look for how I do in my trading. I'm not telling anyone how to trade, but I'm just saying that I look for breaker structures, which is an essential or key part of my strategy, and then I pull back to a demand or supply area coming out of that breaker structure. Okay, so let's see. Like this could be, this in an instance could be, you know, this is a small area of demand right here on the lower time frame. Okay, the lower time frame. So be mindful. This could be actually a long entry right here, and I'm going to take this right now. Probably to run, hopefully the market come back up here and fill some gaps above. Okay, there we go. Looking for the market to run up there to the top. Hopefully fill that area right there. Come on. All right, now if I start to see too much rejection here, then I'll get out. I don't want to see it break lower. Okay, so you feel that gap right there, right? But it may not want to come up here and fill this gap here. So let's see. Come on. All right. Have to be careful here, because the higher time frame, again, like I showed you. Let's wait and see right quick, guys. Give me a second. I'm trying to focus on this trade I'm in right now. I want to see it come up here and at least fill these gaps back up to this area right here. And I may need to bring it down a tick or two. I may take out here, right here. Come on up. All right, we got filled there. All right, there we go. All right, this was a demand zone. Again, now what I'm doing here is I was trading against a grain on the lower time frame chart. You know, not paying close attention to, not saying I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the higher time frame, but I saw a setup that looked interesting because it was a demand zone, excuse me, on the lower time frame. So let me mark this right quick. This was a demand zone right here, okay? Now you could take that because why was it a demand zone? Because it broke structure right here to the upside, all right? It broke this area structure. So if you look at things without, I don't want to say this, because you can look for opportunities to scalp the market, even if you're trading counter trend. But I primarily talk about that if you're more experienced and seasoned, not for beginner traders. But this was, the market was, if you look at it from a lower time frame standpoint, okay, made a low here, then it started moving back to the upside. Gotta just pay close attention to price action, even when we're moving inside of a range, okay? Then the market folds back down and starts taking out some areas of structure, taking out over here, okay? All right, you see it make these lower lows and lower highs, okay, lower low. Then it turns around again, okay, within this swing right here, okay, hasn't broken this major area of structure down below here at 45, which is the low for today. Yeah, low for today, before it turned back around and started making higher highs and higher lows to the upside. So the market had broke structure back to the upside right here, okay, took out 89 or 90 area, okay, and then all you do is look for a area where there's a break of structure that occurred that aided in this break to the upside here, and then to pull back to that demand area within that break of structure that aided in taking out structure right here. So that's why I waited for the pullback right here to take a quick long entry, okay? So I'm just scalping counter trend against the overall time frame, the higher time frame. The best opportunity would have been right here on this supply setup right here, okay? Because I'm trading in the direction with the higher time frame, because if you look at the higher time frame, okay, we've been doing what? Making lower lows and lower highs. We broke through this small area of internal structure to the downside. Turn back around, we did, before we started breaking structure back to the downside. So this pullback was in this area here on the lower time frame in confluence with the higher time frame movement or direction of the market, okay, as it was breaking structure back to the downside. So then I'll look for a setup on my lower time frame and take a supply setup to go short in the direction of the higher time frame. That's the way you want to do it, okay? This video is not about counter trading and taking trades just strictly off the lower time frame. You guys see me do that who are part of the Discord community all the time, but that's because I've been doing this for such a long period of time, and I can take those quick scalps like that when I see good setups, all right? But if you want to be consistent and profitable as a beginner trader starting out, make sure to take your trades in the direction of the higher time frame. So if we're breaking structure to the downside on the higher time frame, then look for a supply setup to take a short, okay? Because we're breaking structure to the downside, so look for opportunities to go short on your lower time frame, all right? Or if we're breaking structure back to the upside and taking out structure on the higher time frame, then look for demand setups to go long on the lower time frame. So there was actually if you notice here, I'm going to show you, this was a supply setup. Again, we're breaking structure to the downside on the lower time frame, even though we're within this major swing right here. We haven't broken through this major area of structure yet, but still, it's chopping to the downside, taking out structure here, okay? Pay attention. I just draw I'm going to draw a channel. I'm going to do this, okay? Where we at? Yeah. Oops. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me grab this right quick. This is a channel to the upside, okay? Just pay attention, all right? Channel to the upside. But it's also creating structure back to the upside to where it's taking out structure here, right? Over here, okay? To the left-hand side. So always look to your left-hand side of your chart to see what's taking place and see if the market is breaking structure to the upside, taking out structure to the left, or if it's breaking structure to the downside, taking out structure to the left. Okay, so in this case here, it's making higher highs and higher lows to the upside, taking out structure over here. But then it turns back around, and you see this channel right here? I marked that for a reason because I want you to pay attention to the left-hand side of the chart. Now it's breaking through areas of structure as it's moving lower, taking out structure over here. Okay, so we'll take the channel off now, okay? So it's breaking through that area of structure or that channel to the downside, left-hand side of the chart. All right, so when the market made a, say, low here, below this area here, okay, and it broke through this area of structure right here at 970 on the movement to the downside, it pulls back, right? Then it breaks lower. This is a structure break now below the area of 950, okay? So as long as we're breaking structure, say in this case here to the downside on the higher time frame, then we want to be looking for short entries on our lower time frame, all right? So always remember that, okay? And vice versa in opposite direction if we're moving to the upside, okay? So it makes a low below this area here after it's breaking structure here. So this is a demand zone, excuse me, a supply zone now, all right? See, it pushed lower, lower high, lower low, breaking structure here. If we get an area of structure to the downside, then we want to look for a pullback. This is a supply area off the higher time frame. Now look at how I trade this on the lower time frame, and it will make sense. Mark the area of structure, okay? All right, we've already depicted because it's breaking structure to the left-hand side of the chart now, all right? Right here, that now we've got structural shift and a directional shift to the downside. So let me start looking for shorts, right? All right, well, first I want to mark a key area of supply, right? Key area supply, all right? This right here, breaking structure to the downside, okay? Then we've got what? We've got, we've got supply right here. I move down to the lower time frame chart. This red box is that same area off the higher time frame, okay? We're just waiting for the market to tap back into it. When the market taps back into that higher time frame supply area, then all I'm looking for is a basically a break of structure in opposite direction and a pullback to go short, okay? So it taps into it, okay? And then what occurs right here at the top as it kind of retraces deep into it here. This is what it looks like on the 12 range chart, the lower time frame. We've got a taps into it, rejects, pushes lower, okay? Pushes lower. But look what happens right here. I'm gonna blow it up for you. It broke through a small area of structure on the move to the downside. So even on the lower time frame, I mentioned look for supply setups on the lower time frame to go short. You want to trade in the direction of the higher time frame, okay? The higher time frame is because it's breaking structure to the downside. Look for a supply setup on the higher time frame. Then on the lower time frame, wait for the price or the market to tap back in to the higher time frame supply, okay, that you mark. Once it gets there, then look for that structural break back to the downside on the lower time frame or a structural break. It pushes lower, boom. Then what I'm going to do is this will be a supply. Let me get rid of this right here because this was where I took a trade just strictly off of, well, trading in the direction of the higher time frame, but it gave me a second opportunity. So I'm going to take this off right here. All right, so because now what we want to do is we're going to mark an area of supply off of the lower time frame. So higher time frame supply, taps into it. Look for a structural break. Breaks below this area here at 997 3/4. This is your supply zone right here on the lower time frame now. So you're looking for a supply setup on the higher time frame, market. Lower time frame, wait for the market to go back to it, pull back or retrace to it. Then look for, same thing, a structural shift, boom, break below area structure here, pull back, mark a new area, mark your area supply on the lower time frame, wait for the rejection, go short. Simple as that. That is the strategy that I talk about over and over and over again on my channel, and that's what I trade, okay? That is the easiest strategy what I talk so much in depth about, okay? It's just basically if we're moving in the down direction, supply on the higher time frame, supply on the lower time frame. Moving in the up direction, breaking structure, pullback, retracement, demand on the higher time frame, look for structural break on the lower time frame, pull back to an area of demand. Okay, always remember that. Going long, demand higher time frame, demand lower time frame. Going short, supply higher time frame, supply lower time frame. Simple as that. Okay, but this was your opportunity to go short right here. Once the market taps into the higher time frame supply, look for the rejection, breaking structure on the lower time frame, pull back, market area supply on your lower time frame, go short when you get the rejection. It's simple as that, guys. That's all it is. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So right now, what are we doing? We're just chopping around this mess right here. Okay. Now that trade that I took was just basically a pullback. Let me show you because I was looking at what was going on the lower time frame as well. You know, again, trading in the direction of the higher time frame, but I saw an opportunity to take another scalp going short. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because when the market broke lower here, it pulled back. We got that supply zone here. I'll mark it again on the lower time frame. Go short, right? But look what happens as it's moving lower. It starts to move lower. It's breaking structure over here to the downside. Okay, all right. So breaking structure over there. All right, let me bring this back together here. But I saw an opportunity to go short here as well, right here, supply zone, because we got a retracement, right? Okay, yes, it was breaking structure here and turned back around and started making higher highs and higher lows, breaking through some area of structure right here. If I was to take just say a trend line, I don't trade trend lines, I'll say that right now. Let's see, I'll just use I don't know, I'll use array, okay? So breaking structure right here to the upside, right? Then it taps into the supply zone right here. This is an area of supply. But I have to be mindful as the market is retracing back to this area of supply, okay? Basically give me another setup or another area to be able to trade from going short, okay? Another setup. So it starts to make higher highs and higher lows, just as breaking structure, okay? Breaking through this trend line back to the upside. But this was a supply zone right here, okay? A supply zone. Now, I want to be mindful of what's below me when it comes to paying close attention to the structure of the market, okay? Because the market can start to, even though it rejects here, it could hold up or it could move to a certain area and then bounce back to the upside, okay? So in this case here, in paying close attention to price action, I noticed, there really wasn't any significant area of support where the market was actually going to just immediately bounce from, okay? So when it got to this area here, I knew back down here would be an area where it could, because this right here is actual a structural break to the upside, and this is a demand zone. So basically we have areas of structure being created, and there's a demand zone coming out of it. In this example right here, once we've tapped into this area of supply, I'll look below and say, okay, is there any major areas of structure where the market could actually, what am I trying to say? Bounce from or reject. I was looking at this area down here, okay? One being for the fact is that this is a untested demand zone as well. So basically this was a supply setup taking the market back down to an area of demand, okay? So it tapped into supply, back down to demand. Why is it demand? Because this area right here was an area that aided in the structural break right here. I mentioned that earlier in the video, okay? So you get in once it taps here. Look for the rejection. Primarily, I look for a break of a candle in opposite direction, the close of it. Okay, so I would have gotten in here below at 96.5, or right here when the candle closed at 95 3/4, and then taking it back down to this area here, okay, at 981. Beautiful trade setup right there, okay? So that's the kind of opportunities you want to look for. Then it taps into the area of supply. The demand, and that's why I got into that long position right there, because it tapped into the area of demand. At that point, I was looking for rejection and looking for some areas where it can start to fill in gaps. I saw this small little area of imbalance or gap right there, and the market came right up to it and tested it. You saw that, right? And that's where I got my trade when I went long, okay? Now the market is moving sideways right now, so right now I'm going to hold tight. I don't like it. It's kind of just chopping. I can imagine it's probably moving around somewhere. The VPOC or the daily POC is around this area here, but it's moving sideways right now, so I'm going to stand down. All right, I'm into a long position here. Looking for the market to kind of pull back, maybe to this area here. It could pull back a little lower, but I'm looking for it to come up and test higher areas here. So let me do this. At least around this area here, it could push higher, but I'm going to take out right here. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. I'm going to switch back over to my 12 range, move it down a tick or two. Okay, right around this area here. It can pull back on me, but I was looking for a continuation on a movement to the upside. The market broke structure to the upside. It pulled back, and right now it didn't pull all the way back to the demand zone sitting right here on the higher time frame, but it pulled back to this area of resistance. We're like a point or two away, about 2 points away from it hitting that area, and bounce. We had this strong bullish candle to the upside, so I'm going to hold this trade here and try to fill in some of these these gaps or these voids here in between the candles here. But this was a rejection pretty much off of this area of support sitting right here. I don't take trades normally like this. You hear me talk about 99% of the time I trade supply and demand. Every once in a while, if I see a good setup, I'll take a trade at a support or resistance area. But it's rejecting the area right here. And what I would like to see the market really do is come back down and test this area here. Now this would be a area of demand right here, resting around 16,008. I don't want to see it pull back there, but it can come back there, okay? So hopefully it continues pushing higher here and I can get filled here. But I'm going to hold this trade here. Again, this is not a typical or ordinary trade setup that I would take. Been a little bit risky here. So I don't recommend you guys taking trades like this unless you really have, really lots of loads of experience or you trade support and resistance primarily. But I'm noticing, what took place here on the higher time frame. For one, we're breaking structure back to the upside, and this is a demand zone resting right here, but it didn't 100% tap into that. So I'm gonna hold this trade, and yeah, like I said, hopefully it pushes to the upside here. So, and this could be a beautiful trade setup. So let's wait it out and see. Okay, come on. Come on. Look at it, just a few ticks away. Okay, we got filled there. All right, so that was a 9-point grab on 2 contracts right there. And again, guys, like I said, this was you could pay close attention to because structure will tell you everything that you need to know when it comes to trading. Okay, we're breaking structure back to the upside. Okay, after breaking through this area of supply prior to, it breaks structure here above 16,000 and take 10. Breaks up. This is a demand zone. This is a structural break to the upside. And this area here aided in the breaking structure back to the upside. So it didn't 100% come down to the demand zone resting right here at, say, 90. Okay. It came down to 92 and 3/4. So we're like almost 3 points away from the zone. But it pulled back to this area of support right here. Rejected it. I saw the strong bullish candle. It wicked right here at support. And then it started breaking higher with lots of momentum in this next bullish candle. Now I didn't jump right in when I saw that right there. I saw that activity unfolding, but I took a look over my lower time frame, my 12 range chart, and I started noticing we're already, short term or could be on the higher time frame bullish. Okay, so because of that breaking structure, so I look over at my lower time frame to look for a demand setup, okay, to go in the direction, okay, with the higher time frame. So the market's making higher highs and higher lows. It pulls back, okay, all right, and then it breaks higher, breaking through an area structure. So I wanted to see it actually pull back to this area here at 1609, but it just pushed up, okay. This was a demand zone. It didn't come back to it. It pushed up, pulled back, tapped into support here, rejected it. And when I saw the rejection, bullish candle here, this hammer candle followed with the next candle that closed above. That's primarily I'm going long there, okay? Because it's rejection, again, even on the lower time frame back in the area of support. So, but again, I primarily 98%, 99% of the time trade supply and demand, okay? So a couple little trade entries there today. I think 3. One, I think it was a short scalp, then a long, and then this long entry here. All right, taking it again, like I said, to fill in this gap here. It could continue pushing higher for sure, but we just got to wait it out and see what happens here. Yep, so I'm not sure if it's going to, run higher, come up and test and take out this high right here. Don't know. Right now we're definitely moving sideways. We have this high here, this low here. It runs up, starts breaking structure here to the upside, makes a high. Doesn't break this major area structure below at 37 or 38. And so right now we're kind of just moving sideways. So be careful if you're trading. But, there's still opportunity if you know how to trade it correctly. But anyways, I just want to show you guys, again, the strategy of using multiple confluence, using confirmation from 2 charts, higher time frame, lower time frame. Higher time frame short, breaking structure, look for a setup on the lower time frame to go short as well. Back at supply. Higher time frame is long, okay? All right. Excuse me. And the market pulls back to a demand area on the higher time frame. Then look for a setup to go long on your lower time frame, okay? Primarily looking for breaking structure on a lower time frame, pull back to a key area demand. All right. But these are all the things that I post. I post these trades over on my Discord community as well as other traders as well as who are part of the community. There's a channel on the trading floor. There's a channel on the server, guys. Sorry, titled Trading Floor, and that's where we as traders we post images of our trades that we take throughout the session. I'm going to post this one I just took over on the session as well. Because I just got out of that trade. But yeah, I do this on a daily. I try to make videos like this because I know they help individuals out where they can watch my, the live sessions here, not meaning that I'm actually live, these are the live recorded sessions, but I take the entries that or trades I take on here and I post them on the Discord so people can see as well, okay? So all in all, I think, let me see, total ticks today, because I like to look at things from a total tick standpoint. So far today, I should say, I'm ended up right now at 170, okay? So 170 ticks right there. And that may be my last entry, depends on what I see as far as setup-wise in the market. Again, I didn't take any ES trades today, but, it is what it is. I've been liking the movement on the Nasdaq 100 right now because of, I know around the fourth quarter of the year things kind of get a little bit iffy with the E-mini S&P 500 futures. It is what it is, and things tend to start swinging better towards the first and second quarter into the new year. But again, if you're interested in joining the Discord, find that link down in the description portion of this video. Also, please make sure to sub to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel yet by clicking on the sub button. Also, make sure to turn on all your post notifications to make sure you never miss one of the videos here on this channel, okay? Look, if you're interested in trading the future market, primarily the NSE or index futures, this is where it's at, guys, okay? I talk about the strategy. I give it a rundown. How to use it is simple as long as you practice and practice and practice. Nothing is going to happen overnight. You've got to put in the work. We have successful traders that are part of the Discord community. Excuse me, guys, if you hear, emergency vehicles in the background moving down the road. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is we have successful traders that trade similar to exactly how I trade, and they have found success. Many of them are going through or passing evaluations, through some prop firm. I don't trade prop firm money, guys. I trade my own, but there's nothing wrong with that if that's your choice to help you build up the capital to put into or fund your own personal account. But either way, what I'm trying to say is we do have successful traders that have spent time, that have been part of this community, watching the videos. I don't have a trading course, I'm not a mentor, I'm not a teacher, I'm not an educator. I'm just here to share my experience. And through the videos, I put together valuable content, the things I've experienced along the way, and just kind of giving you the knowledge and little gems and nuggets that I feel like that will aid someone out there that is struggling and allow them to become successful and profitable. But you got to be consistent with it. You got to practice, back test and forward test along the way, okay? Also, please make sure to drop a like on the video if you found the content in this video valuable. I know you guys love videos like this to where you can, I go into detail and discuss the trades and why I took them and things of that nature, okay? But that's all I have today. I'll see everyone in the next trading session. Please, if you're trading, be safe. And like I always say, please try your best to be green on the day.